Hey, it's 9 News meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen live out here, being recorded, but recording it live out here in the elements in North Arvada, watching the thunderstorms build here in the out in the foothills here at about 12:30 in the afternoon. So those storms are going to mostly impact the foothills areas, not as heavy as they did yesterday, but there will be some heavy rainfall down there, and then we'll get about a 25% chance of catching one of those thunderstorms as we move through the Denver metro area here this afternoon, and then they'll get stronger as they move out onto the eastern plains, although still be limited in coverage. Nothing like it was yesterday, where we had quite a few severe thunderstorms out there on the eastern plains. And in fact, I tracked a few of them down. Take a look at this shot that I grabbed over in the Akron area as I chased a severe thunderstorm. Actually had a tornado warning on it for a while from Fort Morgan all the way down to Akron. Some really big thunderstorms. We even had a severe thunderstorm watch, which I don't think we'll have today, but we have not had many at all this year. And in fact, if you're wondering about that, counting yesterday, we've had 85 severe weather warnings issued so far by the National Weather Service in Boulder, which covers those 22 counties there in northeast Colorado highlighted in yellow. So in those areas, it is the fewest severe weather warnings that we've had in 20 years. So if you think that we have had a lack of severe weather this year, you would be correct about that. But we have had some decent rain showers because these storms have been energized or associated with the monsoon. And so that has been charging up the storms in the mountains like usual. But yesterday we also had a little bit of convective energy, some upslope winds, and just a little bit of cold air above us that helped us get those thunderstorms going on the east side of the state. And look at those numbers, really impressive from yesterday, even more than 3 inches recorded there in Cheyenne Wells. And that's, of course, if you manage to be under one of those tiny little thunderstorm cells, because like you see there, Denver International Airport got missed once again. Actually, they got it 1/100th of an inch. I wouldn't be surprised if that's pretty much what they get again on Thursday, as these storms are going to be pretty isolated in nature, unlike yesterday where they're a little bit more widespread. As we put the computer forecast model in motion, you can see really between about 2 and 4 o'clock is that window for the Denver metro area. Those storms, I don't think will cover the entire metro area, and in fact this little simulation here may describe exactly what we may see, and that is just a tiny little portion, most likely in the southern part of the Denver metro area, that gets a little bit of measurable rainfall. Now there is a possibility that some of these storms can be severe with a marginal level of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail. And that pretty much covers all of the eastern plains, including Denver and Fort Collins. However, better chance out on the eastern plains as you see those storms kind of march out towards the eastern flatlands here later on in the evening before sunset. Could be some pretty severe cells out there with 1-inch hail and maybe some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Not quite as big or strong as yesterday, and not quite as much coverage as it formed a line and really covered a lot of people yesterday. And then you see those storms kind of gradually disappear, especially in the northern part of the state late this evening, and could continue on in the southeastern part of the states as early as sunrise tomorrow, but they should clear out after that. So we have limited burn scar flooding expected today. Right now, which is 12:30, we have some strong thunderstorms in the East Troublesome and the Cameron Peak burn scar right now. They're not heavy enough to bring out a warning just yet, but we could get some flash flood warnings. Actually, one was just issued just now for the Cameron Peak burn scar. So we do have just enough rain falling there in the Cameron Peak area to bring out a flash flood warning. And that goes for the next 2 hours here from 12:30 to 2:30, so that can be expected to be continuing here as we go through the next couple of hours here in the early afternoon. Limited flooding, which means not the entire burn scar of huge impact, but if you are into that limited area of the Cameron Peak burn scar that is flooding right now, that you have to go into your flash flood protocols, which everyone up there does have now, especially after the floods that we saw last year. It takes a lot more rain this year to create that severe flash flooding, but we do have that threshold being met right now in the Cameron Peak burn scar. On Thursdays, the National Drought Mitigation Center updates the drought monitor, and you do see some continued relief there in the southern part of the state and a little bit of an increase there in the southeast part of the state. We don't usually get a lot of action here from thunderstorms in the summer that actually change the drought scenario, except in the mountains where the monsoon has been very impactful so far, so early in the season. This is normally when the monsoon is just getting started around the 4th of July, and we've already had 2-3 solid weeks of monsoon rains in the Colorado mountains. So that has dropped the nature of the drought down from, which mostly was completely covered in level 3 extreme drought, down to level 2, which is still severe drought, but it is an improvement. And so we're going to see those monsoon showers be shut down here over the next few days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as you see this high pressure build in over, really kind of centered around Colorado there, that it'll bring the extreme heat. It'll start to build in on Friday. We'll have above average temperatures in the middle 90s, and then 100-degree temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. So we're talking about extreme temperatures because that is a good 8 to 10 degrees hotter than the normal high temperature that we usually see on these dates. And in fact, Saturday there, the high temperature record that all time that we set was last year of 98. So if we hit 99 on Saturday, or 100 of course, we'll break that all-time record. The all-time record on Sunday is 102, which is certainly not out of the question. That could end up being the hotter day for most of the areas. We could be looking at 105, 106, 107 on parts of the eastern plains. So that those 100s will cover almost the entire eastern side of the state and the western slope. The mountains could be up into the 80s, places that don't normally see 80s, like Grand Lake and Vail and places like that could get up above 80 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. And then it looks like after that high pressure breaks down on Sunday night, Monday afternoon, we could start to see the return of those scattered afternoon monsoon charged rain showers. So that's good news. We have a small break in the monsoon for 3 days, and then it comes right back. So this is certainly a good pattern. And the one last thing I would say to you is that because this extreme heat on the weekend, very dangerous for you to be outdoors without water and shade for a long period of time down here in the lower elevations, but up in the mountains, maybe an opportunity to get some hiking in above tree line where the temperatures will be nice and cool, and there will be a limited threat of lightning over the next 3 days. So it's bad in one area and it's an opportunity in another. So that's how all the weather works. So please get out there and take advantage of whatever you can, even during the extreme high heat of the weekend. You can find some activities that can give you some relief and some fun as well. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week.